Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets of the stock market's movers and shakers. And today we are looking at Enovix Corporation. And it seems they are giving out something for free, but is it really free? Let's find out. So Enovix Corporation is putting out a current report, basically an update on what's happening with the company right now. The main news here is about something called a warrant dividend distribution. Think of it like the company giving its shareholders a special bonus, but instead of cash, it's this thing called a warrant. They've actually put out not one, but two sets of questions and answers about this warrant distribution. The first set came out on July 7th, and then on July 15th, they released additional questions and answers. This shows they want to be super clear about what's going on with these warrants. So what exactly is this warrant dividend distribution? Basically, Enovix is distributing warrants to its shareholders and some note holders. The record date for this distribution is July 17th. Now, a warrant is like an option to buy a company's stock at a set price in the future. So this is like giving people the right but not the obligation to buy Enovix stock later. They're also clarifying that this distribution of warrants for no cost isn't considered a sale of a security under the law, which is why they don't need to register it under the Security Act in the traditional sense. However, they will be filing a registration statement and a prospectus supplement which will have all the details about the warrants and important risks to consider. Sale of a security under the law, which is why they don't need to register it under the Securities Act in the traditional sense. However, they will be filing a registration statement and a prospectus supplement, which will have all the details about the warrants and important risks to consider. Looking at their registration details, Enovix's common stock trades on the Nasdaq Global Select Market under the symbol EX. They're incorporated in Delaware with a commission file number of 801-39753. Knowing this background helps us understand their place in the market. They are a fairly young company making advanced batteries, and this distribution is a way for them to provide value to their shareholders. The company issued a press release on July 15th detailing this supplemental FAQ. This is all about shareholder communication and transparency. They're making sure everyone understands the mechanics of this warrant distribution and how it might affect them. It's important to note that this communication isn't an offer to sell or buy any securities. It's purely informational about the warrant distribution. They are very careful to state that there's no sale happening in any state where it would be unlawful before proper registration or qualification. This legal language is standard for these kinds of disclosures. And like most companies making public statements about their future, they include a section on forward-looking statements. This is basically a disclaimer saying that while they are talking about future plans and expectations, actual results could be very different. They mention factors like risks and uncertainties that could impact their actual outcomes, and they advise people to look at their other SEC filings, like their annual reports on Form 10-K and quarterly 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 reports. The fact that they've released multiple FAQs suggests they anticipate a lot of interest and potential confusion around this warrant distribution. This is a strategic move to manage shareholder expectations and provide clarity on the terms and implications of holding these warrants. This filing also includes exhibits like the press release and the FAQs themselves. Think of these exhibits as the supporting documents that give you the full picture. Now, while this filing is more about a specific event, the warrant distribution, and not a deep dive into financials like a quarterly report, we can still glean some insights. Enovix is a company focused on advanced battery technology, a sector with huge growth potential but also significant competition and capital requirements. Giving out warrants can be a way to incentivize shareholders and potentially signal confidence in future stock performance without directly diluting existing shareholders through new share sales at this moment. It's a way to offer potential upside to investors. What's really interesting here is the strategy behind the warrant distribution. It can be viewed as a non-cash dividend, which shareholders might appreciate, especially if the company believes its stock price will increase significantly in the future, making the warrants valuable. It's a way to reward existing shareholders and keep them engaged. However, from a Warren Buffett perspective, we always want to see what drives the intrinsic value of the business. While warrants are a distribution, the real story for Enovix lies in its battery technology, its production capabilities, and its ability to capture market share in the competitive battery space. Our subscribers often ask about how these corporate actions tie into the actual business. For an Enovix, this warrant distribution, while a communication and shareholder relations tool, is secondary to their core mission of developing and commercializing their advanced batteries. The key takeaway for investors is to understand the terms of these warrants, the potential exercise price, and the expiration date. Also, critically, they need to understand the underlying business fundamentals of Enovix. Are they successfully scaling production? Are their batteries truly superior and gaining traction in the market? These are the questions that will determine if holding these warrants leads to actual profit. Ultimately, Enovix appears to be strategically managing its shareholder base and signaling a positive outlook through this unique distribution. It's a move that could benefit long-term investors if the company's core technology and business strategy prove successful. But like any investment, understanding the risks and the fundamental health of the company is paramount. Alright, that's our breakdown of Enovix's latest filing. What's your take on these warrant distributions and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for even more insights and discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.